Yan. Expand mo nga itong video. Pwede. Alright. Kumusta po? Hello po sa ating lahat. At it's been a while. Simula po nung tayo ay huling nag-live. Oh, ayun, teka. Anahin ko po yung aking... Yan. So, hindi siya... Siya ba ay umiikot na? Ayun, okay. So, nag-live tayo, ano? Nag-live tayo ulit kasi meron lang po akong gustong anong tawag dito? Gustong bigyan ng reaction tungkol doon sa nabasa ko just now, tungkol doon sa ating nabasa ko yan dito sa aking tablet. Sandali lang po. Yung reading crisis in the Philippines. Okay. So, number one, ayan, simulan po natin yung punto natin dyan. Number one, that is raw data. Okay. So, pag sinabi natin yung raw data, dyan natin makikita that, although hindi ko alam kung ano yung ginamit na process, kung paano nila nasabi that 80% ng grade 11 learners, around 1.3 million students, cannot read independently and still need guidance. So, according to that, 87, napakalaking porsyento po nun, no? Around sa 1.3 million students ang hindi makapagbasa independently na nag-iisa. Or meron yung tinatawag na ano kasi depende sa kung ano yung binabasa, lalo na kung yan ay nasa wikang English, mahirap mo talagang, parang for them, isa sa mga napansin ko sa problema ng mga bata is when I was still in DepEd, kasi yun yung consequences ng masyadong paggamit ng mga cellphone di ba? Sa spelling na lang, o yan, yung spelling, mali-mali na yung spelling, no, ng mga bata. Sa spelling pa lang, okay? Makikita mo, sinushortcut nila. For example, yung word na I love you, gagawin nilang I love. Kumisan ang kanilang spelling is L-U-V. So doon pa lang makikita mo ng mali yung yung spelling, no? And that also is gonna be a problem kasi reading is important. Mahalaga po ang pagbabasa. 'Di ba? Kapag hindi tayo marunong magbasa, may papipirmahan sa'yo, di ba, kailangan mo munang basahin yan bago mo pirmahan. So you have to read it first. Now, if you don't know how to read, because it's actually written in English, and then that's gonna be a problem. Okay? Now, kung Pilipino ka at hindi ka talaga marunong magbasa din, another problem din yan. So, number one na analysis ko dito, okay, as a teacher, math po tayo, pero kahit paano na nagturo ako ng online English, nagturo po tayo ng English, ESL, English as a second language, no? Number one na problema is that kung ang estudyante sa eskwela, di ba, tinuturuan natin magbasa ang mga bata, tinuturuan natin silang, binibigyan natin sila ng ng halimbawa mga novels, mga libro, Ibong Adarna, English literature. Okay, lahat yan. Pero pagdating sa bahay, wala naman siyang reading habits. Okay? Sasabihin ko po yan na reading habits. Ano ba yung reading habits? Hindi siya nagbabasa, bagkus ang hinahawakan niya yung cellphone niya agad, walang mangyayari. So, eto po, hindi natin dapat isisi lahat, no? Hindi ko kinakampihan ang Department of Education, ano? Hindi ko kinakampihan ng mga teacher dahil teacher din ako. Pero kung walang reading habits ang bata, o kahit nasa cellphone di ba meron tayong mga e-book? Di ba may mga e-book tayo? So yung mga e-book na yan, pwedeng basahin. Kung wala silang tiyagang magbasa, ang haba-haba, bakit ko babasahin yan? So mawawala na talaga yung purpose ng yung goal na ang mga bata matutong magbasa, no? Ako, ito mga paborito kong binabasa, ha. Mahilig ako sa mahilig ako sa mga horror Ang binabasa ko, pero novel ho yan. I'm a fan of Stephen King. So meron akong yung libro ni Stephen King. Meron akong Stephen King Pet Cemetery. Hindi ko pa nasimulang basahin. Ang binabasa ko yung Stephen King The Shining. Yeah. Meron akong Stephen King Pristine. This is, as the story of this is about a car na, parang possessed ng demon yata, no? Ito namang Pet Cemetery, the gist is about ano na ngayon? I will translate it in Tagalog. The gist is about a place where you bury animal or person and then they will come back. They will be resurrected pero hindi na sila yon. Okay? So, ganon, no? So, para masabi mong naintindihan mo yung binasa mo, although hindi ko pa siya, hindi ko pa siya nabasa ng buo kasi may idea na ako sa mga movies. May edit po kasi ako manood ng movies. And then, si Kuho, okay? Stephen King Kuho is about a dog, a loving dog na nakagat siya ng, nakagat siya ng paraang bat yata. Yung paniki. Kinagat siya ng paniki na may rabies hanggang sa parang siya naging, monstrous dog, killer dog. Okay? Yan yung aking mahilig po ako sa mga Stephen King books. So, kapag wala tayong yung aking tita sabi niya, "Are you back home?" Andito pa ako, tita. Sa pa ako, uwi, June 15. Okay? But kung wala po study habits ang mga bata, wala po talagang mangyayari. That's the number one thing na dapat ma-develop sa mga bata. Kasi, oo nga, nagbabasa siya sa school, pero kung pagdating niya sa bahay, wala siyang follow-up reading, wala din, no? So, yan yung isang, it's really a crisis. I remember, hindi naman po tayo nagpapakapolitika, no? Sabi ni yung tumakbong, sino na ngayon, si, former Vice President Leni Robredo, talagang meron tayong emergency crisis when it comes to education. Kasi sa PISA result na lang, we are actually second to the bottom. Second tayo dun sa pinaka-rock bottom. Pag sinabing rock bottom, talaga nasa almost, ang educational system natin is almost not teaching anything to kids. Yun po ang interpretation ng data. So, wala silang natututunan, mahina ang kanilang critical and creative thinking skills. So, anong pwedeng gawin ng Department of Education or anong pwedeng gawin ng ating mga eskwela to address the issue? Marami po tayong pwedeng gawin. At hindi lang yung ating public schools, private schools ang dapat mag-address ng issue, but rather it is it is, buong bansa po yan. No? Yung ating mga parents, yung mga stakeholders na tinatawag, kailangan makikooperate din. Kasi kung ang parent hindi nakikikooperate, wala ding mangyayari. Walang mangyayari, no? Yun yung aking opinion po, no? This is just my humble opinion. Wala tayong wala tayong ibig na masama doon sa akin pong sinasabi. Bagkus we're trying to give our opinion when it comes to this crisis. Kasi ano na ho yan, yung crisis na yan ay talagang parang hindi na maganda ang dating, no, when it comes to our neighboring countries, na ang ating sabi ng tita ko, that's good that you're educating the new generation. Mostly now, they're all mga gadgets, the devices they need to hold the real books. Preach it. Good job. Yes. Oo. Dito nga po, sasabihin ko na sa inyo, no, we have this idea na hanggat maaari, bawasan ang technology. O isa pa yung AI. Yung AI, kasi, I'm not saying AI is bad, pero masama po yung nagiging dating ngayon yan sa sa mga bata, no, yung AI. Let's say sa math, they will just put the problem there sa, let's say sa Google Gemini, let's say sa ano ba yung mga AI natin, Google Gemini, ChatGPT, Grok, yan yung mga mga alam kong meron pang ChatGPT. So nawawala na yung ability ng mga batang mag-isip, no? Instead of listening, studying examples, hindi na sila nakikinig kasi meron ng AI. I've experienced that. Itatanungin mo yung estudyante mo, okay, how did you get it? They will tell you that's what my answer is, because that's what my brain told me to. And I told them, hindi po pwede, no, that's not possible. You have to explain to me how did you get the step-by-step answer. This is now the problem with all the evolution of technology. Meron siyang advantage and meron siyang disadvantage, no? Okay, disadvantage and advantage. So ano yung nakikita nating disadvantage? Malaki. Kasi pagdating sa mga international tests like PISA, nawawala yung purpose, nadidefeat yung purpose ng critical and creative thinking. Yung time namin talagang during our time, sa Lasalle po kami noon, we have our time for the library, yung terms like skimming, scanning, di ba? So because we wanted more development, eto na nga yung mga development na yan, kaya lang may disadvantage din siya. Meron po, no? Kamukha niyan, yan sa reading. Kasi, paano magiging globally competitive ang ating mga estudyante kung sa pagbabasa pa lang hindi na sila marunong. Okay? So it's crucial, it's important that we have to address this issue. Now, sa Pilipinas po yung tinutukoy natin, siyempre, hindi naman lahat ng ating mga parents, like for example, in the public school, siyempre, hindi rin, totoo po yan. Hindi lahat ng ating mga parents ay, nakatapos, kaya nga pinag-aral nila yung kanilang mga anak. Pero, it should be, parents should be supportive po kung ano man yung mga programs ng school. At sa school part naman, itong mga programs naman po sanang ito, hindi fasad lang. Okay? Ano ibig sabihin ng FASAD? Pag sinabi kong FASAD, okay, meron kaming program sa reading, meron kaming program sa numeracy, sa literacy, pero hindi mo naman nasusustain. Just for the sake of promotion, I'm sorry to say this po ha, just for the sake of promotion, kaya ka may program about reading, kasi you wanted it to be promoted. I'm not saying that it's not bad to be promoted, but what I'm saying is, this is an issue that we have to address by heart. Okay? Kasi kung yan ang mahirap sa atin eh. Instead na sustainable, pag sinabing sustainable, talaga nandun na yung program na yun at hindi mawawala. 'Di ba? Hindi lang yung parang may papel ka, pina-approve mo, tapos ginamit mo para ikaw ay ma-promote. Well, tapos pagkatapos nun, wala na. So, the problem with that reading program or literacy program is it's rubbish. Because you just use it for your paper. Okay? You just use it for your paper in order for you to be promoted. Ay, hindi po tama yan. Okay? Again, baka may magalit sa akin, hindi po tama. No? It should be sustainable. Okay? Ito nga gusto ko po, meron akong nire-research kanina eh. Sandali lamang po yun doon sa result ng PISA natin. Result of PISA for 2 years. For 2 years. 2 years. Okay, nanonood pala sa akin si Bonilla Jose. Who is Bonilla Jose? Siguro friend ko po. Pakilala po kayo para mabati ko po kayo. And then si Nanay Helenda Lapitan Bueno. Okay, so result of PISA for 2 years, Philippines. I-research po natin yan kasi gusto ko pong bigyang din ito eh. Kasi sumama tayo ng 2018 eh. Kung tayo sumama siguro, I don't know kung may PISA po before 2018, pero siguro naman hindi naman magiging ganun ang natin, ang ganun kababa ang result natin, no? Kamukha yan. Okay, so sabi rito, the Philippines performance in the program for international student assessment has remained weak. Ang sakit po na pakinggan sa sa isang teacher na kagaya ko, kasi syempre math po tayo, and math, reading, and science are core subjects in the Philippine educational system. So with no significant, masakit sa tenga po, with no significant improvement from 2018, kasi yan po yung first time na tayo nag-join, until 2022. Now, yung magiging result yata for this year, 2026 sa December, I'm just hoping, sana kahit papano. Kasi, mababa po yung ating So, sabi nga rito, overall ranking and score. Yung pinaka po natin, pinakasumang ranking natin at yung score. So, noong 2018, tayo po ang last place. Sa akin po, para akong sinasaksak, sorry for the term, sa aking dibdib pag nakikita ko ito. Last place with an aggregated score of about 1,058. So, pero tinanong ko rin, sabi ko, fair din kaya ang ginamit na metric to assess, di ba? Okay, siyempre papasok din sa isip mo 'yon. And then in 2022, naging rank 77 out of 81. Still, tayo po yung nahuhuli in ASEAN. Okay? With an aggregated score of 1,058. Now, both years scored below the OECD average in all three subjects. Ano po yung tatlong subjects na yun? Mathematics, reading, and science. Okay? Pero tiningnan ko po yung data kasi as a math teacher, tinitingnan po natin yung data. Ano ba yung data? Yung numbers, ano? Tingnan po natin yan. Kasi ito yung mahahalaga sanang pagtuunan ng pansin ng ating mga paaralan. Ang nakikita ko po nangyayari sa mga paaralan, masyado ng maraming program eh. Halimbawa, may program for hindi kamukha dito sa, again, nako-compare ko po, no? Kamukha po niyan yung brigada. Again, I'm not saying brigada eskwela is a bad thing, ano? Lilinisin yung klase, okay, ganito, decoration. I'm just wondering, wala bang pondo ang gobyerno for school maintenance? Sa amin po kasi, ang naglilinis talaga ng mga classrooms. Naglilinis din po kami. That's true. Pero, parang tulong na po namin yun sa mga custodians namin. At the end of the day, the custodians are left, they clean the classroom one by one. That's true. Pero of course, hanggat maaari kung kaya namin lilinisin namin. Diba? Okay. How about yung mga materials? Okay. Sa classroom ko po, may cabinet ako malaki niyan. Nandun na yung mga, halimbawa, algebra tiles, meron ako mga geometry. Now, kung gusto mong dagdagan yan, kung hindi enough sa'yo, nasa sa'yo. But you have to get it in your own pocket. Okay? Talagang ganun po yan, no? Now, ang nangyayari kasi, kamukha niyan, yung structure, no? Pinapaganda yung structure ng school, okay? Wala po akong against doon. Kaya lang, what we're supposed to be dealing now is itong data po about reading, math, and science. Okay? Okay. Sumasali naman kami sa MTAP. Sumasali kami sa ganito. That's not the point. Okay? Okay. Sa amin po, sa amin talagang rigid. Sasabihin ko po sa inyo ang consequences sa school kapag ang school ay non-performing, no? Sa aking former district. Kapag ang school po ay hindi nagper-perform sa reading, math, and science, I think 5 years yata, the state will have to take over. Walang nangyayari, walang accountability. Okay? Including the, I don't know kung pati district. No, yung school, papalitan po yan, madidemote ang principal. Totoo po yan, madidemote ang principal, tatanggalin. And then this is in a public school. Public school po yan. Okay? Now, if you want to reapply, parang state na ang mag-i-interview sa'yo. And then they will have to ask you, paano may tuturo itong, let's say, gamitin natin sa term ng Pilipinas, itong competency na ito. And how will you make sure that if they don't get it, how will you reteach it? Okay? How will you reteach it? Okay? Oh, kasi nung nasa Pilipinas ako, ang isang nakita kong problema, yung mga topics talagang ang dami sa Mathematics 7. Well, binago through matatag curriculum, pero tiningnan ko parang, sabi ko parang it's just the same thing, ano? It's just the same thing. And depende rin kasi yun sa pacing ng pagkatuto ng mga bata, no? So, pag hindi mo naman minadali, may test ka naman, which is the same din sa Amerika. May test kang kailangang anong tawag dito? Kailangang gawin para yung mga estudyante makita mo kung may natutunan o hindi. Pagkatapos meron yung yung item analysis. The item analysis is pag masyadong pag yung halimbawa, for example, one question at maraming hindi nakakuha sa question yun, kailangan, if I'm, correct me if I'm right, ha? Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Doon sa question na yun, pag marami ang hindi nakakuha sa question na yun, kailangan palitan mo yung question na yun. Okay? Kapag marami namang, tama ba? Pag marami ang hindi nakakuha, you remove the question. Pag naman marami ang nakakuha, masyadong madali yung question. So, sabi ko, paano kayang gagawin dito sa sa ano kayang magandang question? So, you at least need to have a moderate question, no? Sa amin po kasi, we do not prepare the test, no? Meron kaming tinatawag na district test. Sila yung nagpe-prepare ng test, no? Or may tawag kami rin. These are what we call checkpoints. And that is online. Online po yan. Okay? Now, that is online. So doon makikita namin, we don't actually do item analysis anymore. No? What we do is to look at the numbers. Tignan po namin yung mga numero na nagfo-fall sa meets, sa did not meet. Ibig sabihin ng did not meet, marami sa mga bata hindi niya nakuha yung competency na yun. So pag marami sa mga bata ang hindi nakakuha dun sa competency na yun, you have to do a reteaching. Now, yung reteaching ba ginawa sa Pinas? Now, depende sa teacher, no? Now, kung ang teacher po ito na naman po ay sandamakmak ang kanyang trabaho. Papangalanan ko po yan. Meron siyang home visitation, meron siyang SF1, SF2, SF3, SF4, dinagdagan pa yata. Wala na po, hindi niya na po magagawa yung reteaching. Okay? And of course, the teacher has also a personal life. Okay? Again, sa mga administrator po, wag po kayo magagalit sa akin. Sinasabi ko lang po yung realization because you yourself was also a teacher. Okay? So, this is the problem, no? Ang dami-daming programs na inadapt. Ang concern natin ay yung sinasabi ng PISA. Okay? So, kamukha po niyan. Tingnan natin yung data ng PISA, no? Inire-research ko po yan dito sa Sandali lang po. PISA Result Philippines. So, yun po yung mga dapat nating tingnan. Kami po dito, kami gumagawa ng grades, pero wala kami mga Form 137. Wala. Ewan ko bakit. Opo, ang pinopost po namin yung grade online, pagkatapos tatawagan kami ng opisina, sila yata yung magpo-post final, no? The office. Kung sinusulat pa po yan, I don't know kung bakit sinusulat, siguro para pahirapan yung teacher siguro, okay? Siguro para sabihin, walang ginagawa yung teacher. I'm sorry po sa mga sinasabi ko, pero that's my observation. Ang teachers po natin, they are so tired. Yan sa Pilipinas. Okay? So, bakit ko nasasabi yan? Wala ka naman dito, sir. 10 years po ako nagturo and I know. Tapos in charge pa siya sa in charge pa siya, for example, sa let's say mathematics coordinator, and wala naman siyang extra dun wala siyang extra bayad dun. That's true po, okay? That's true, okay? Dito nung nasa Hawaii kami, nung naalala ko, kapag nag-attend ka ng seminar, ikaw pa yung binabayaran. Yes. Yeah. Tama ba yun, Ma'am Gretchen? Kung nandiyan si Ma'am Gretchen, naalala ko yung experience namin yun. Nagulat ako, tayo pa yung binabayaran, no? Sa halip na tayo yung magbabayad. Okay? So, yan yung mga realization po natin kung bakit meron tayong reading crisis, meron tayong crisis sa numeracy, meron tayong... Kaya ang ginagawa ngayon, ibang bagay ng pinagtutunan kasi wala namang concrete solution. We need to have a sustainable and concrete solution about this matter. Kasi kung puro promotion lang po, eto, gagamitin ko sa promotion ko, magandang solution, and then after that, wala na. So what happens, you know? I don't care. Sasabihin siguro, then, if you don't care, then you don't deserve to be in that department. Sorry po. Okay? Alright, so, since you are saying that, you know, meron na nagsabi nun you are a teacher and you have to serve the best interest of the learners, then you have to do it. Okay? Not the money. Secondary na lang yung money. Okay? So, ano sa ba yung PISA result? PISA, meron ako yung nakitang result nun yung may binigyan mo niya po tayo talaga ng figures. PISA result, Philippines. Kasi binibigay niya sa akin ano to? Microsoft Edge sa ano po natin yan. Wala tayong nasa online po yan So kailangan meron tayong mga programs. Kung yung program lang na yun during brigada, tapos wala na tayong documentation, picture para masabing may ginagawa tayo, hindi sustainable po yan. Okay? At saka, supposed to be, isa pa po yan. Walang ginawa si teacher. Hindi ko nakita yung picture. Dude, kailangan pa po bang gawin ng teacher yan para masabing meron siyang ginawa? Okay? No. Alright? Yun yung mahirap. Kaya ako po, I for one, I do not want to become an administrator because I don't know. Okay, they're following, let's say they're following protocols or whatsoever. I don't really know, and I don't wanna know. But it's hard for me to understand as a teacher in my position over their position. Okay, so it's hard for me to understand. So, kasi, you know, when you are a leader, let's say an administrator or what, you have to, you were once a teacher, so you have to put your shoe on their shoe. Nag-test ako ng doctoral. That's fine, and I passed. That's fine, but you have to make sure that you are on the side of the teacher. You are not supposed to be against the teacher. Okay? You are not supposed to be against the teacher. Yun yung yun yung aking yan yung aking, hindi na yung over the pedestal ka na, mahirap po yan. Pag over the pedestal ka na, yun yung sinasabi ng yun yung sinasabi ng DepEd memorandum, yun yung sinasabi ng, okay, we understand that. But are we really doing it for the best interest of our learners? Okay? Father Carl, nanonood ka pala, nanonood din si Ma'am Lynn, kasamahan ko yan sa Rosario National High School, Kasi, yun nga yung number one po talaga, kung walang reading habits ang mga bata sa bahay, which is, you know, I would also tell the parents na you have to do something about this too. Okay? You should not put the blame sa eskwela. Kasi, ang mga sa Amerika, minsan napapag-usapan namin, yung mga parents ang tingin sa teacher service provider. Na parang, you just leave the kid, we babysit the kids, supposed to be, it's not supposed to be like that. Babysit mo yung bata, pagkatapos, pag bagsak yung bata, they will question you. It's the same thing. What happened? Okay, I have this experience before na, ang grade na niya is 90, it became 84. Well, the mom was an algebra teacher. So, nagkaroon kami ng exchange of communication sa email, and I told her, I use the curve. Yung curve na ginamit ko is, I multiplied her grade to 0.60 yata, yes, plus 40 para pumasa na siya. Knowing that, she's talking to a math teacher as well, sabi niya, next time you have to inform me time to time about the progress of my daughter. And I said, wow, point taken. I did not argue with her. I did not. Pero, natawa ako. Sabi ko, parent na ito. Some parents think that, teachers, I'm sorry to use the word, are their slaves. No, we are not. Hindi po. No? It is your responsibility to make sure kung ang grade ng anak mo bumababa o hindi. Naintindihan ko po kung kayo busy, you're doing your best to provide for your family, but kasama sa pagiging magulang, no? Na alamin mo kung ano yung nangyayari sa grades ng mga anak mo, no? And then you make a follow up to the teacher. What can be done to address this problem? Pwede ba siyang mag-remedial work sa'yo? Pwede ba siyang mag-tutorial under sa'yo? So, pwedeng ma-address po kasi yung mga issues na gano'n, no? Sa akin, may mga estudyante ako ganyan. Sabihin na, kapag na-post ko na yung grade, Mr. can you make my grade up? Sabi ko, na-post ko na. So, kailan pa kayo mag-ano, no? So, nag-email din po ako na sabi ko, your daughter is not really passing in my class. So, he needs to submit all of these missing, online or paper and pencil work. So, responsibilidad po natin na alamin kung ano yung nangyayari sa ating mga anak. And we also need to control kung paano sila gumagamit ng mga devices, no? Ang mukha po yung AI. And yan ko nahuhuli yung estudyante ko kapag gumagamit ng AI. Okay, show me on the board, how did you get it? I can't. So, ibig sabihin, gumamit ng AI yan. Kasi binigyan ako ng eksaktong sagot Usually sabihin ko, okay, as a math teacher, you have to show to me the step-by-step solution. Pero yung mga estudyante ako, they don't follow really the steps. May sarili pa nga silang step Yeah, may sarili silang step. And I would say, okay, that's correct too. Yeah. So, ibig sabihin, nag-isip siya. Pero ito yung problema rin natin sa AI, no? Kumisan, kasalanan din ng ng mga mathematicians and scientists mga, ng STEM yan but we have to put some safeguards on it. Kailan pwedeng gamitin ng bata ito, kailan hindi pwedeng gamitin ng bata ito. Okay? And isang hot topic namin bago natapos yung school year namin dito was about, there was this i-share ko nga yun there was this lady natawa ako sa kanya. She was introducing a Montessori AI type school. Sabi ko, wow, sabi ko. And it was ano yun? Against ako dun I'm very much against it because sabi niya, ang mga bata 2 hours lang magi-stay sa school, and sino magtuturo? AI. Oh, sabi ko ganun, okay. Okay, sabi ko. And then, how about the teachers? What will happen to the teachers? So, parang ang setup niya is, wala ng teacher, parang facilitators lang. Parang may human counterpart na magpo-provide ng, let's say, magpo-provide ng mentorship, emotional support. So, ang academic support, nandun na sa AI. And I said, okay, fine. Sabi niyo sa kasama, pumapayag ka na AI ang magtulong. You know, I'm saying fine because tingnan natin sa mga exams like SAT, like what do you call this? SAT, STAR or whatever. Kasi iba-ibang state, iba-ibang test yan. Or NAT sa Pilipinas. Kung yung pagtuturo ng AI will improve the test results. If it will improve, then I bow down. But, you know why I'm saying yes? Because I know it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Okay? So, itong, yung ibang mga administrators, they're, you know, napailing ako eh. Why not try it? What? Sabi ko, pinag-iisip ng mga ito, sabi ko, artificial intelligence, so. Tapos meron pa yung isang university yata, I just don't wanna mention, wala yung substitute teacher, absent eh. Tapos turo nila sa klase, boses AI. It seems the you know, university students were listening, and sabi ko, parang scripted naman yan. I think it's scripted, sabi ko. Because you try to put a robot, let's say a robot or voice or like Alexa or whatever. Si Alexa po yung sa computer yan. Tingnan ko, ilagay mo yan sa worst, sa mga talaga yung mga pasaway na mga bata, hindi nila papansinin yan. Okay? They will not you know, they will not pay attention on that. So I don't know, you know, educators all over the world should rethink of what they're thinking, okay, about this AI program. Oo, totoo yun. At least sa atin hindi na problema yan eh. Hindi na problema sa mga teachers yan. Okay? Hindi na problema sa mga teachers yan. Wala nang stress. Of course, magagawa mo na yung SF1 mo. And then, hello Sir Joseph. Okay? Si Sir Joseph po isang administrator natin yan sa DepEd. Si Bongbong Balagtas. So, magagawa mo na yung mga SF mo, magagawa mo na yung mga paperworks mo. Ganyan din dito eh. Yung meron yung tinatawag kaming blended learning. Ang blended learning, ang gustong pagawa sa amin, yung magagaling na mga estudyante, they will be engaged in activities. While i-divide mo yung klase mo sa dalawa. You're gonna divide your class into two. Oo. Kasi ang mga administrator all over the world, ayaw nila nakikitang nakaupo teachers. I don't know why, ha? Sasabi na, tamad yan. O di, yung mga estudyante mo magagaling, naka-engage sila into, you know, into work. Pero nagsusupervise ka. Now, how can you do that if you're doing a mini lesson? Now, para ma-address mo yung both problems na yan, mini lesson, gagawa ka ng asynchronous video mo. Imagine mo yun. Kasakit ang ulo mo talaga. Magre-record ka ng sarili mo. Okay, kukunin mo yung laptop mo, ilalagay mo doon sa small group na kung saan nag-i-struggle pa sila. Kumbaga magre-reteach ka. Halimbawa, ang topic mo is one-step equations. Okay. One-step equation for that day kasi marami nang nakasunod dun sa lesson na yan. So, you will give them an activity about one-step equations. Now, based from your raw data, Saan po manggagaling yun? Doon sa resulta ng iyong meron kasi kami ditong campus-based assessment. Nakikita namin, ulitin ko po tulad ng sinabi ko sa inyo, makikita mo na doon kung sino-sino yung mga estudyanteng mababa, did not, nasa level ng did not meet, meets, and masters. Okay? So, tatlo po yun eh. Okay? So, usually, talagang marami yung nasa did not meet. Okay? Makikita mo rin at ma-identify mo din yung mga bata na nasa saan talaga, nasa sa masters. Okay? So, yun. Ihiwalay mo yung, let's say, 3 to 4. Let's say, halimbawa, 10 ang estudyante mo. Pinakakunti yung 10, ano? Sa Pilipinas, nagkukwento ko sa kanila dito. Do you know how many students I have when I was teaching for 10 years? In the 50. What? Yes. That was their reaction. What? Sabi na, pinakamarami na po nila rito, 30. Okay? So, yan, isa pa rin nakikita kong problem yan. I don't know. Kaya ako umalis din ng public school kasi nakita ko yung mga yan. Overcrowded po yung ating mga schools. More learners kasi hindi mo pwedeng tanggihan yung sinasabi ng batas or whatsoever. But, ang tanong, paano matututukan ng teacher? Let's say, 6 ang kanyang loads. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. How do you expect mastery? Sa akin po, yan ang ginagawa ko. Ang ginagawa ko, sa akin, pinakamarami ko na 29, 24. Meron mabutin ako ng 30 yata. Yes. Kasi parami yung ano. Pero nung unang taon ko dito, pinakakukunti ko mga estudyante is 13, 10. So, mabalik po tayo sa sinasabi ko. So, sa 10 na estudyante mo, let's say, yung 5 naka-move forward na. Halimbawa, ang lesson mo is let's say adding and subtracting fractions, yung negative and ano po, kasi yun ang mga pre-lesson namin sa middle school yung 5 na master na nila yun kasi nakita mo dun sa data. Okay? Tinitingnan mo kasi yung data. Importante po sa amin ang data. Hindi po kami nag-iisip na okay, magbenta ako ng ticket. Ay hindi po, data po ang pinag-uusapan namin. Okay? Data. Okay? Walang ganun sa Pilipinas. That's now the problem. Kaya pag tayo ay kumuha ng pag kinuhanan tayo ng data, whether by ASEAN, wala po kasi tayong sarili nating data sa school. Importante po yun. Okay? So, yun po kasi yun yung magandang effect ng technology. Talagang, tsaka pag nagte-test po sila online, binibigyan ko sila talaga ng scratch paper. And what I always say is like this, kahit hindi po, kasi in-approve naman ang principal namin. Your grades is incomplete kapag wala kang solution. Yeah, that's true. Ginagawa ko po yan. Although, hindi po totoo. Kasi kapag hindi mo sinabi yun, hindi sila magsosolve, maghuhula-hula sila. Yeah, that's what I do. Sasabihin ko sa kanila, okay, your grades are incomplete if I did not. So, ang ginagawa po nila dyan sa papel nila, pino-fold nila yan. Kahit na ang test po nila online. Okay? I-fold nila yan sa, depende kung ilan yung question. Let's say ang question is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Papa-fold ko sa kanila yan ng ganyan. Ganyan siya. Papa-fold. Pag na-fold na, yan fold na nila. Okay, din lalagay yung number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. So, makikita mo, nag-solve ang bata. Okay? Kasi kung hindi mo bibigyan ng scratch paper, manghuhula yan. Kasalanan yan ng teacher kasi pinabayaan niya, hindi niya binigyan ng papel eh. Okay? So you have to give them, they need to provide a concrete basis kung paano nila nakuha yun. Kahit nasabihin natin siya ay online. Alright? So yun po yung mga dapat nating i-address. Marami po tayong dapat i-address sa atin. Noon, naalala ko noon si Sir Mark Beltran, may his soul rest in peace. Gumagawa na siya nung tawag dito, yung mahusay po yan sa math and at the same time, mahusay din siya sa computer. Okay? Sana yung ating tech, both private and public. Kaya minsan kina-question ko din itong PISA, sabi ko, hindi ba na isasama ka ako doon yung ang dinig ko parang namimili yata sila, ng isang lugar, and that ano naman tawag doon, parang I think it's random sampling. Okay, namimili sila to represent for the whole country, But we have private schools as well. So, yung bang private school, yan din tanong ko sa sarili ko naisasama ba yung kanilang data? Okay, naisasama ba yung kanilang let's say yung kanilang results? Okay? Kasi hindi po maganda ito. Hindi po maganda na para ang ating educational system is I'm sorry to say this po, walang improvement. Binasa ko na po yun There is no significant improvement. Hindi po ako nagsabi. Nasa po yan? Nasa internet, no? Nasa data ng online data ng PISA. There is no significant improvement. So, ano pong gagawin natin? We have to make programs that are sustainable. Okay? Hindi po yung hindi sustainable. Okay? Kasi kung hindi po sustainable ang ating mga program, and it should be a collaborative effort from the school, from the community, and from the parents. Okay? Hindi po yung puro pera na lang yung piniisip natin. Marami na po tayong problema sa corruption sa gobyerno So wag na po, tayo po ang pagtuunan natin ng pansin sa education is dito po wala kaming mga wala kaming mga pageant. Again, I'm not saying pageants are are bad. Wala po. Meron kaming spelling bee, meron kaming tinitingnan ko yung resulta ng Pilipinas Ayun nung December 2019 ito. Nasa bottom nga po tayo, meron ako nakita, meron yung 300 something po yung ating 300 something po yung ating score. Ayan, nanonood si Generous Bautista. Comment naman po kayo. And let's have a collaborative discussion. Si Father Carl, dating administrator yan sa anong tawag dito sa St. James. Kaya alam niya ang wala yung yun lang yung nakita ko. So noong 2018, 78 over 78 tayo, which is nasa dismal bottom ranking ang Philippines. And then si Amelet nanonood ka rin, and then in 2022 nasa 77, although may significant sa akin medyo humangat ng konti, pero no significant improvement. So malaking problema po yan. Although ang PISA is not about competition it's about seeing kung ito bang educational system na ito is working. Now there were comments saying na i-abolish natin ang K-12. Naku, it's a big mistake kapag ginawa nyo po yun. Okay? Bakit ang haba-haba, mas maganda yung naunang. Ang karamihan po sa ibang bansa, Karami globally is K to 12 na. O, kaya lang iba-iba lang ang pagkakahati-hati, no? Kamukha sa amin dito, from grades 1 to 5, elementary. And then we have the middle school. The middle school is the 7, 8, grade 6, 7, and 8. And then after that, we have the high school. Magkakahiwalay ng mga eskwela po yan. We have grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. Ewan ko kung anong sinusundan nating Australia yata, if I'm not mistaken. So, ito po yung dapat nating tingnan na how will we have a program na sustainable, no? Sa ating bansa. Okay? Okay? Sa ating bansa po. Kasi may miski yung teams, hindi rin maganda ang result natin sa teams. Okay? And it's like we're not taking it seriously. Okay? Parang wala lang. So, you know, hindi po maganda yun pag we're not taking it seriously. Okay? Ayun, yung 2018 result, ayun, nakita ko. Philippines, ang reading natin is 340. So, nasa 300s po tayo. Sabi nga, countries are ranked in descending order of the average reading score. Alright. And then, ang mathematics is 353, ang science is 357. Now, isulat ko po yan, ha. Andali. Yun yung ano, no? So, reading, that is nung 2018, reading sa pagbabasa, Philippines is nasa pinaka-bottom po tayo, 340. And then, mathematics is 353. And then, science, kasi yun po yung tatlong kursa ng tinututukan natin, no? Mga bata kailangan may sports din. Again, hindi ko po sinasabing hindi mahalaga ang sports. Pero kailangan, alam na natin yung score natin eh. Dapat intensive po ang ating, intensive po yung, mamaya papakita ko sa inyo yung ginagawa ng China. Pero sa akin, hindi naman ako approve naman doon. Na ang mga bata talagang kinukulong sa school. Talagang hinahatiran sila ng mga magulang nila ng pagkain, ng may tawag po sila doon eh. Gaoku test, something like that, no? Sandali lang po Gusto ko pong, kasi we have to take seriously about this matter. So, PISA, Philippines. Gusto ko lang po i-compare yung pagkakaiba. PISA, Philippines, 2020. Yung, 2022, I'm sorry, 2022 results. Yan. Salamat po dun sa mga nanood sa aking live ngayon. Kasi, as a teacher, nasasaktan din ako na ganyan na yung nangyayari sa ating educational system. Diba? Mababa na nga tayo sa PISA. Ngayon meron na naman tayong issue sa reading. Kaya again, hindi po ako, I'm not politically siding with Leni Robredo or what, pero she was right when she said that we should have the Philippines under a state of emergency when it comes to education. Tingnan po natin ayun, 2022. So, ang mathematics natin kukompare ko po yan. 2022, 355 ang math. Ang reading is 347. Ang science is medyo bumaba ng konti yung science eh. So, ito na po. Noong 2018, ang reading po, ang result natin sa reading is 340. Tapos tumaas siya ng 7 points. Data po ito. Mathematically, this cannot lie. Okay? So, yan sana ang I wish and pray that ito ang maging focus, lalo na sa core subjects, no? Ano ba yung core subjects natin sa Pilipinas? Sa ibang bansa po ang core subject is apat language arts, reading kasama na doon, math, science, and social studies. Sa atin po, ang core subject natin is language arts, that includes Filipino and English, and then math and science. So alam na natin na ito yung kahinaan natin So dapat magtulong-tulong po tayo to address this issue. Both in the private, public, the community, the government should also be a part of the solution, to address the issue. So ang reading po natin is 340 nung 2018. Nung 2022, 347. Tumaas tayo ng 7 points. Pero again, according to PISA, there is no significant statistical growth. Okay? Wala po. Sa mathematics, from 353, naging 355. Tumaas tayo ng 2 points. Ito po yung medyo yung science, from 357, bumaba po tayo ng 1 point, naging 356. So, again, tulad po ng sinasabi ko, and sabi nga ito, key finding and text. Global standing natin, the country ranks 76 in mathematics and remained near at the very bottom for reading and science. So, may minimal growth tayo. Scores changed by only single digits compared to 2018. Proficiency rates, a significantly majority of students failed to reach minimum baseline proficiencies in the core subjects. Kaya tuloy, parang nasasabi na mahina ang IQ natin, hindi naman po ako, I beg to disagree doon. I beg to disagree. And then creative thinking, in a specific 2022 creative thinking module, the Philippines score a mean of 14 out of 60. Again po, that is far below the 33-point OECD average. So, these are raw datas and this cannot lie. Now, how can we address this? So, tulad nga po nung sinabi ko, sa amin dito, how do we address it? Meron kaming campus-based assessment. The campus-based assessment po is online, but at the same time, ano po yan hindi sila makaka-access sa iba kasi meron silang i-click sa computer nila na kung saan hindi nila pwedeng i-close yun kasi madedetect namin pag close nila. And then, tulad nga po ng sinabi ko, talagang sinasabi ko sa kanila, your grades are incomplete kung wala kayong solution. You have to show your solution. Kasi it's important pa rin po na mag-solve ang mga bata. No? Para makita natin kung saan sila nagkamali. Meron nga kaming kagaya ng pag magtuturo ka ng mastery. For example, you present a math problem. And if you want, kasi most of your class nakuha na nila So mag-present ka ng math problem, hindi yung traditional one na kung saan step by step. Kasi tulad nga ng sinabi ko, nakuha na nila. So, para ma-check mo kung talagang naintindihan nila, you will put an error on the problem. Okay? And then you will ask them, what is wrong with the problem? Is there any error based from the equation or based from the sign? Okay? And then the discussion begins. Okay? That's what we do. Okay? Yun yung natutunan ko dito, no? That's what we do. Alright? So, ito po yung mga actions namin. Meron kaming campus-based assessment and from there, ang tawag nga namin doon parang quiz yun. So usually we give them 4. Pero yung mga 4 na yun, nandun na po yung easy, average, and difficult. Okay? Ini-spread na po namin. We don't do table of, we don't do, actually to be honest, we don't do lesson plans. I remember my principal, my very responsible and very kind principal in Hawaii. Hindi siya masyado sa lesson plan. You know what he told us? I want to see the execution in your lesson. That's it. Kasi meron na po kami mga guides eh. Okay? Meron na kami mga guides. So, very understanding siya. I'm not saying that iba-iba kasi ang approach ng ano eh. Iba-iba ang approach ng mga leaders natin. No? Pero yun ang sabi niya sa akin. I want to see. Kaya po, nung ako ay umalis ng state of Hawaii, I was able to increase. I'm not proud of it, but you know, at least napatas ko po yung ano eh, yung ng 12% yung kanilang state test. Kasi talagang ginawa ko po lahat yan, you know. I never stop reading, looking for strategies, asking those experts. Hindi po ako nag-concern na, okay, lilinisin ko yung room ko, maglalagay. Hindi po. I was focused doon sa content mastery. Yes. I'm sorry po to say this, but I was focused on content mastery. Yeah. I remember, nagtulungan pa kami ni my sub, who was very brilliant, the Japanese, Mrs. Okamoto. You know, to give them paper and pencil. We go over the questions, we let them explain it, and then we give feedback. Something is wrong with this problem. What do you think is, we're not saying na hinahayaan namin silang isiping mabuti, no? Kung ano ba yung kulang sa solution. Now, when it comes to reading po, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, kapukha po niyan, you know, ako talagang, Pinas ka na ba bro Brooklyn? Wala pa, bro. Sa 15 pa, okay. So, ganyan, nagbabasa po tayo niyan. Ang nabasa ko, kahit pa hindi ko pa siya nabasa kasi may idea na ako sa movies eh. Oo. Meron ako yung nasa chapter 2 na yata ako. The Shining. Yeah, Stephen King. Mahilig po kasi ako sa horror genre. Okay? So, yun po. So, how will we address this? Kids must have a study habits. Study habits, reading habits. So, hindi lang po yan pwedeng iasa sa mga eskwela. O, iwan ko yung anak ko. Turuan ninyo siya. Lahat, ituro ninyo. Kailangan may follow-up din po sa bahay, no? Hindi po pwedeng iisa lang, no? Iisa lang ang inaasahan natin. Kailangan tulungan po tayo. Di ba? Oh. So, yan, kung walang emotional na connection sa pagbabasa, kung yung nakikita po ng bata, no, kung ang nakikita ng bata ang pagbasa ay ginagawa lang kapag may exam, kasi kailangan niya mag-review o kapag pinapagalitan ng teacher. So, you know, parang ang mindset niya, kaya lang siya nagbabasa kasi ituturing niya po yan na parang parusa. Sa halip na isipin niya na yung pagbabasa is bahagi ng kanyang buhay. Kung wala kahit isang matanda sa bahay, no, ang nakikitang nagbabasa, yan, magulang, kahit man lang newspaper, kahit dyaryo, kahit Biblia po, iisipin ng bata na hindi ho mahalaga yung literacy. Totoo po yan. Yan, bro, sa mga kids, discipline is the key. Pero bro, may ano rin ang parent. Ito ang sinasabi ko, kung hindi nakikita ng bata na walang nagbabasa sa bahay, hindi niya kasi makikita yung importance. What I'm trying to say is, modeling po yan. Wala siya nakikita nagbabasa sa bahay, lahat puro cellphone, lahat ng family members naka-cellphone hanggang sa pagkainan. Nanay ko galit na galit dyan may her soul rest in peace. Ibaba mo nga yung cellphone mo at kakain. Kailangan bigyan ho natin ng ano yung bata na, you know, this is the time that you're gonna use your cellphone. Dito sa amin, bawal ang cellphone. Yes. Kaya kung marami akong kinukuhang cellphone dito, sabi ko, akin na. Give it to me. Anong ginagawa? Binibigyan naman po ng bata. Pagkatapos, binibigay ko sa office, then the parents will get it from the office. Okay? So, may masyado tayong na ano sa Pilipinas din, technology, and education. Pero mahalaga pa rin po na ang mga bata nagsusulat. Yan ang isang magandang trait na nakita ko sa pagtuturo ko sa private and public for 12 years, for 12 years susulat sila, they take note. That's very important. Dito magpo-provide ka ng packet. Ano ba yung packet? Yung packet, ando na ho yung nakasulat na, mag-fill in the blanks na lang sila, lalo na sa vocabulary and then example. Tatanungin ka, is this graded? Siyempre, pag sinabi mong hindi, itatapon sa basura yan. Itatapon po. Yung sasabi ko, graded yan. So, you have to compile all your packets. Okay? So, yun po yung pero I agree with you what you say, bro Brooks, na yun nga, pag wala silang nakikitang model sa bahay na nagbabasa ng dyaryo, nagbabasa ng magazine o Biblia, iisipin ho ng mga bata na hindi mahalaga ang pagbabasa. Okay? Kaya po dapat gawing text-rich ang buhay sa labas ng eskwela. Kung walang libro sa bahay, dali ng pagbabasa sa barangay. Kaya tayo, dati ang barangay ho natin may mga reading centers Meron pa ba tayong mga reading centers dyan? Alam niyo po dyan sa Santiago, naalala ko nun, di ba, Bro Brooks, meron yung dating PNB. Sana ginawa na lang library yun. Para yung, it's sa Amerika po, meron tayong mga tinatawag na public library. Hindi naman pag sinabing library, nasa school. Meron yung library talaga na, halimbawa, city library. Para yung mga, anybody can go there. Of course, you need to have a borrower's card. You will return that. Ewan ko kung, sabi ko sa nanay ko when she was still alive, sabi ko sana ginawa na lang ginawa na lang library kaysa nakatenggang ganyan. Sabi ko nga, drop everything. Ayun, kapag well-disciplined na mga bata, bro, nangangahulugan na maayos ang training. Totoo yun. Agree ako dyan, bro Brooks. Kaya kung ang bata medyo ang sagot-sagot and talagang kahit ang nanay ko 37 years in her teaching, may her soul rest in peace, that is what her yan ang observation niya. Pag ang bata walang discipline, talagang magulang po. Again, kasi may responsibility ho natin yan Actually, nasa Bible ho yan. Nasa Bible ho yan. Na kung kinakailangan mong paluin yung anak mo baka magalit sa akin ng batas, pero sometimes hindi tiningnan kasi ng batas kung saan yung when to strike a boundary between discipline and torture. Okay? So pag sinabi kasing ang tatay ko po noon, yung aking foster dad, na his soul rest in peace, yung mga nagpaaral ho sa akin, ang sabi niya noon, ang tatay Tibbs ko noon o papayag akong disiplinahin ka ng teacher. Kung kaya pinalo sa puwet, pinalo sa kamay, dahil matigas ang ulo mo, tama sa iyo yun. Okay? Tama sa iyo yun. Kasi, ang nangyari kasi sa atin, nag-adapt tayo sa West Sa West. Ngayon, dito po sa West, problema nila ang disiplina. That's true. Wala naman tayo sa West, nasa Asia naman tayo. Okay? Pero kung ikaw ay uuwi na bali ang buto mo at hindi ka na makalakad, ibang usapan na yan. So, sabi po ng, from the wisdom of my tatay Tibbs, there is a big difference between torture and discipline. You have to strike a balance. Okay? I think, again, ito yung failure ng mga lawmakers when it comes to distinction between discipline and between tolerating the misbehavior. Okay? Do we want to teach the kids? Kasi pag ang bata po wala nang respeto sa teacher yan. You know, it follows psychologically. I'm not a psychologist, but it could happen that the kid will not have any respect to authorities. Yeah. Totoo po. Kaya, manood ho kayo sa YouTube. Tignan yung mga nahuhuli sa Amerika, yung DUI, the drinking under the influence. Pag pinulover sila ng pulis, nanlalaban sila sa pulis. So, ina-assault sila ng pulis, tinetaser po yan, kinukuryente. Kasi walang respeto sa authority. Kasi doon sa foundation pa lang, hindi na sila tapos magre-react ang for me, that's the backslide of democracy. Hindi mo naman dapat ginanon, ganyan. That's your opinion. Okay? You know. Pero authority is authority. Okay? Okay. So, meron ako nabasa rito. Drop everything and read. Bago umuwi, kung alam nating hindi mababasa ang bata sa bahay, baka pwedeng ang huling 20 minutes bawat araw sa eskwela ilaan sa tahimik na pagbabasa para man lang may baon silang momentum sa pag-uwi. Agree po ako dyan. Okay? Maglaan ka ng time. Kahit anong subject po na sila pagbasahin naman natin. O yun sabi ni Bro Brooks, may mga reading center actually bro, bawat purok pa nga. Pero parang kulang sa suporta. May plan kami sa IP. Very good bro. Na actually parang Sunday school siya. Teka, Seymour. Okay, that's good bro. Culture, tradition, language, pero just the same, need ng support sana. May mga kind and generous individuals. Yeah, that's true. Maganda yung plano ni Bro Brooks. Yeah. Dapat yan, sustainable bro. Kasi pag hindi siya sustainable, and dapat yan ang sinusuportahan din ng ating mga community, ng ating mga parents, ng school. Okay? Kaya sabi nga po, gamitin ang teknolohiya ng tama. Dahil halos lahat ng bata ay may access sa cellphone o social media. Totoo po yan. Baka oras na para ilipat ang mga reading materials sa mga platform na madali nilang ma-access sa bahay, gaya ng mga offline chat style stories o audiobooks. Yan. Kung walang internet, meron tayong mga e-books po ngayon, yung iba hindi na bumibili ng libro ang ginagawa na e-book. Nakikita ko yan nung nasa airport ako. Walang internet pero nagbabasa siya. E-book po ang tawag natin or audiobooks, pinakikinggan lang. So, and then yung sinabi po ni Bro Brooks na about, maganda yan kasi IP is very important. Okay? Parte po ng kultura ng Santiago yan. Sunday school siya, pero tama yan bro. Culture and tradition. Lalo na marami nakakaalam sino mga first settlers ng Santiago. It's the Ibanags, Gaddang. Hindi na nila alam yan. Alam nila mga taga Santiago puro Tagalog, puro Ilocano. Di ba? So ito po yung sino ito? Merong nanonood sa akin si Arnil ba to? Sandali, tingnan nga natin yung kanyang titingnan ko po sa cellphone ko at saka sa aking tablet. Susuportahan ko yan Bro Brooks, yung program na ganyan. Kasi ito po yung sabi ko, kailangan po pagtuunan natin ng pansin kung ano po yung scores natin. Hindi po kung ano-ano yung ginagawa natin. Yung ginagawa ni Bro Brooks yan. Kung puro na lang... Ako po, wala po akong against sa fundraising, ha? Kasi, para saan ba yung fundraising?
Boundary between these na lang.
Para saan po ba yung fundraising? Ay, nag-echo siya. Sorry po. Oo. Kung merong pakapupuntahang concrete na project, maganda po. Pero kung saan-saan lang natin dadalhin, ay masama po yan. Kasi yan po ang kailangan po ito ang pagtuunan ng ating ganyan po yung aking tablet pag tinatype ko, sinasabi niya yung letter. Ganyan siya. Ganyan siya. Ayun. Si Arnil, dati kong estudyante ito. Kumusta ka naman, Arnil? So, yan po yung mga hakbang sana na gawin natin para ma-address natin yung tungkol sa reading crisis natin. Okay? Sa literacy. Kasi ang mga problema po natin marami. Di ba, agree ka, bro? Tama yung sinabi talaga ni Leni Robredo na we have a crisis. Parang my nana is pure Ibanag, Bro Brooks, yes. Pure Ibanag. So, meron tayong educational crisis. Kung hindi natin pagtutuunan ng pansin. Ito, ipapakita ko sa inyo pala yung sa China, no? Nakita ko yan sa sandali po. Nakita ko sa... Ay, bad. Nakita ko yan sa TikTok, yung Gaoku. Ayun, Gaoku po sa China is Chinese exam. Makikita mo yung mga bata talagang binabasa nila yung eto, teacher na rin. Okay, pakita ko po sa inyo to, ha.
These intense, almost apocalyptic scenes are normal during this time. In some schools, 12-hour study days are the norm. Some students get only one day off a week, and many still choose to study. No, these Chinese students are not possessed. They're just preparing for the Gaokao, one of the toughest exams in the world, happening this month in China. Students are practically living in classrooms, with meals passed through school gates. These intense, almost apocalyptic scenes are normal during this time. In some schools, 12-hour study days are the norm. Some students get only one day off a week, and many still choose to study more. A few even use 4 drips to stay focused. Yes, actual 4 drips. Some female students take medication to delay their periods until the exams are over. During the Gaokao, roads are cleared and construction near testing sites is paused to avoid noise. Taxi drivers even offer free rides to exam centers. So what is the Gaokao, and why does it matter so much? Think of A-levels, GPA, and college entrance tests all combined into one high-stakes exam that decides your future. The questions are hard, but the competition is even harder. This year, over 13 million students are registered, but only about 5% will get into China's top universities. Gaokao prep schools have become a phenomenon, with some resembling military camps. These schools enforce strict discipline and intense schedules, while entire towns shift focus to support them. The pressure can be so overwhelming that some students harm themselves or others, but you don't have to. You belong to yourself. So next time you stress about an exam, be glad it's not this one. No, these Chinese students are not possessed. They're just preparing for the Gaokao.
Yes.
The toughest exam.
Yan po yung tinatawag nating Gaokao test, no, na talagang makikita natin ang suporta ng Chinese government ay ganon, na kung saan parang military yung mga bata na they are like doon na sila halos nakatira sa sa eskwela, na talagang to the point that they're getting depressed as well. So I'm not saying na ganun po ang gawin natin, pero we could do better, no? We could do better. Kaya may problema din naman kasi sa kanila, sa China, yan nga yung depression, no, yung mental health, kasi talagang ang mga bata they are put under so much stress. Under so much stress po, ha, na ang mga parents sila dinadalahan sila ng pagkain sa school kasi nga they're like military kids, talagang You know, they have to recite it, they have to understand it, they have to think critically. So makita po natin kung gaano ka-rigid sa China. So no wonder po ang China talaga is nagtatap. Yes, China I think is top. 2018 yata ang nagtap sa PISA result was China. Yeah, because of that. Ganun po nila i-pressure yung hindi lang ang mga bata, pati mga teachers, no? Pressure din, pati mga parents, pressure din. Because this is about the global standing of the Chinese education in the whole world. So, pero yun nga sa akin, kasama pa nga kailangan i-delay daw yung yung women thing. So parang too much naman sa akin, it's too much kasi these are kids and you cannot expect din naman na hindi mahalaga ang mental health kasi magagalit sa akin ng mga guidance counselor o sabihin na sa akin, sobra ka naman bro, parang gusto mo naman ng but again kasi what I'm trying to say is we need to have a sustainable solution. Maring hindi kagaya ng sa China, maring yung sarili natin. In fact, hindi natin kailangan gumaya kahit kanino. Benchmarking lang natin yun. Okay? We can learn from it. Okay? So, how do we intensify more without sacrificing yung mental health ng bata? Kasi bahalaga rin naman po yung mental health ng bata. Kung pukpukin mo ng pukpukin yung bata na talagang madidepress po sila. But, again, it's a collaborative work. It's not only the work of the school. It's not only the work of parents. It's not only the work of the students. But it's the work of the entire nation. Okay? Kasi kung talagang pinapahalagahan natin ang edukasyon at we wanted to, in fact, we don't need to prove na okay, Philippines could have a score of maybe, ano ba yung score ng China? Tingnan nga natin yung score ng China sa PISA sa math. Sila po yung nag-top nun PISA China results. Pati Japan. Kasi tayo is, ang China po is nag-score noong 2018, nag-score sila ng 591 points sa mathematics. Science is 590, so hindi nagkakalayo yung score, and then yung reading is 555. So ano yung data limitation context nila? Geographic representation. The score represent only 4 of mainland's China's most developed and wealthy provincial level administrative units. So, ito nga sinasabi ko, parang namili lang sila, not the entire country. Hindi natin alam yan. Namili lamang sila noong mga most well-developed. So, para sa akin, parang unfair naman yan. Diba? Parang unfair. And then, global standing, in the published 2018 rankings, these regions outperform all other participating nations and regions, including second place Singapore. Okay, second place po kasi ang Singapore. Okay, so we just wanted to. We don't need that score na ganun kataas, but we wanted to ensure that our students are learning something, that tulad nga po nung sinabi ko sa amin, kapag non-performing ang school when it comes to reading, mathematics, and science, the state will take over, and then the principal will be demoted. I don't know kung demoted or pag lilipat ng ibang district siya, kasi pag sinabi pong district, hindi po independent po kasi sila sa isa't isa. Meron silang mga policies, meron silang hindi ka mukha sa atin na centralized. Sa kasi sa tawag dito sa United States, kaya independent school district. Meron silang kanya-kanyang mga policies. Okay? So, yun po. Yun yung ano. So, pag nakita ng district, ng state that it's not performing, even the teachers board, it's non-performing, 5 years yatang sunod-sunod po yun, then they will have to step in. Okay? Because walang accountability on the part of the district. Sa atin po ang district division, walang accountability, walang nangyayari. Wala. So, we have to remove everybody. Okay? Kasi, it's like, walang naituturo, walang outcome, wala, lahat. So, we have to remove everybody, palitan natin nung talagang merong alam or could boost the scores up. So that's it. So yun po yung ating yun po yung aking reaction for the reading crisis in the Philippines. But anyway, thank you Bro Brooks. Batiin lang po natin yung yung mga nanood sa atin, si Bonilia Jose, si Tita Janet, thank you for watching po, Tita Nanay Helenda, Ma'am Lynn, si Father Carl, Ma'am Esme, nanonood pala, kailan ka ba pupunta rito sa Amerika, Ma'am Esme? O yung aking classmate, si Bongbong Balagtas, one of the public administrators of education, Sir Joseph, o yung estudyante ko, si Jenny Rose, yung aking kaklasing magaling din sa math, Amelet, Bro Brooks, Neil Sardeniola, and yun po. So, yun. So, kailangan po simulan na nating gawin ito ngayon, kasi kung hindi po natin sisimulang gawin ito, kasi as nakita ko rin kanina si Tita Lorna nanonood sa akin. Ayun, si Tita Lorna, recall ko na po. So, kung hindi po natin gagawin ito, patuloy pong tayo ay maglalag behind sa global standing natin when it comes to education. So we have to take this seriously. We need to have programs that are sustainable. Tulad po nung sinabi ni Bro Brooks. Kasi kung hindi sustainable yan, sa ibang mga educators po, let's do it by heart. Okay? Again, I'm not saying, hindi ko sinasabing gagamitin mo yan para ma-promote ka or whatsoever, because it's not bad. It's part, Pero kung gagawin mo yan, you have to make sure that it's sustainable. Okay? Parang mga research po Parang mga research sa Pilipinas na kailan ba ginamit ang isang research to address a community problem? Di ba pag college, gagawa tayo ng research, gagawa tayo ng thesis or whatsoever. But are these thesis, are these researches, ina-apply po ba talaga to address a certain problem in the society? Or wala lang, just for the sake na meron kang libro para makagraduate ka, then the purpose is defeated of why we are making research. Diba? So, kung ilalagay mo lang sa library, tapos itatapon mo lang, at hindi naman siya nagamit, di walang silbi. Walang silbi. Okay? Ako po nainis sa ganyan Ilalagay lang sa cabinet ng professor, o kaya, i-defend mo yan. Ang tanong, kailangan magamit yan to address the issue. I think meron yung, I don't know if it was the time of, meron ako nakausap nun yung research nila ginamit talaga to address sa population development something. Yun po, kailangan ang research is solving a problem, kasi kaya nga research kaya ka nga gumawa ng research. Kung yung research mo tiger paper lang, sa papel lang, hindi mo naman gagawing hindi mo naman ginamit talaga para, let's say, halimbawa, why is it magandang research, for example, like for example yung nopal cactus. Nopal cactus, alam natin may mga medicinal yun Yung nopal cactus po is flat siya. Pero na-discover ko nung ni-research ko yun that it could lower your blood sugar. So, what is, para mga investigatory project, what is the medicinal benefits na, instead of taking this one, instead of taking, kasi mga gamot naman natin yan based din sa based din sa mga herbal yan instead of buying an expensive medicine, you actually just look around in your garden and you have also already the medicine around you. Kaya lang titingnan mo kung ilang amounts ang iko-consume mo, kasi hindi naman pwedeng kainin mo ng kainin yan, baka may side effect din sa'yo. So yun po, research is nothing for me. Research is nothing for me kung hindi po siya in-apply. Okay? Research. I need the research. I don't care of what your research is. Unless you put that into practice, then your research is just a book. Nothing more. Lalo binibili mo pa research mo. Diba? Meron po yan Sorry to say this May mga alam akong binibili yung research. Hindi maganda yan. Bakit ka pa nag-research? When you justify that, when you defend your thesis, when you defend your research, paano mo i-justify yan? Binili mo bago mo para sa'yo. So, parang binili si rector, no? So, yun po. We have to address this issue right now, because if we're not gonna address this issue, sabi ko nga po, December yata, kailan lalabas yung PISA 2025? PISA result sorry po, PISA results 2025. Alam ko, okay, the initial results for PISA 2025 are scheduled for publication by the OECD in December 2026. Ay, Diyos ko. Sana po medyo tumaas-taas naman ang ating score, kasi kung hindi, talagang, although nakikita ko po ang ating Department of Education, they're doing their best, pero hindi lang kasi iisa yan hindi lang iisang ahensya, buong bansa dapat ang magtulungan to address the matter. This is not about politics. In politics ibigay nyo na sa kanila yung politics nila. Ang problem natin is about education. Okay? So we need to work this out ASAP. Because if not, what will the world think of us? Do you think employable tayo? Employable tayo as, I don't wanna say it. Okay. Sasabihin, mababa ang IQ ng Pilipino. Hindi naman marunong magbasa yan They don't even know how to read. Illiterate. So we need to do something about it. Enough with ourselves, especially with the core subjects, reading, math, and science. Yan lang ang mahalaga muna. Okay? Mga foundations, I'm not saying to stop, doing those stuff, but, ang school year natin mahaba. We should not waste our time reviewing, reteaching, preparing, analyzing the data, not the item analysis data Walang kwenta po yun Sa totoo lang, sa akin lang opinion. The item analysis is, even in the United States, we don't use item analysis anymore. Okay? It's a waste of time. Okay? It's a waste of time. What should we analyze? Yung data po nung kasi ewan ko, nag-online quiz sa Pilipinas, kami online quiz, tapos nakikita namin ang data. And then, we do reteaching. Okay? Kasi practice makes perfect. So, yun po yan. At, ayun, may mga humabol pang nanood, si Ma'am Carmi, si Ma'am Laika Oray. Alright. So, diyan ko po tatapusin muna ang aking live. Sana po ay ito ay pagtulong-tulungan ng bawat sektor sa Pilipinas, no? Globally, not globally, but yung buong bansa natin, we should look at this as a very serious matter, and we should address and deal with it, swiftly. Alright? So, dyan po natatapos ang aking reaction for our reading crisis in the Philippines. Hanggang sa susunod po, ingat po tayo.